Now, like many of you here, I suffer from insomnia. I've tried everything over the years. I've tried eating lettuce, counting sheep. I even resorted last night to James May's new talking book. That didn't work either. Now, however, Richard Hammond seems to have accidentally uncovered what might be a cure.
This is a Lexus. It's called the RX 450h, and it's everything you'd expect from what Alan Partridge called the Japanese Mercedes.
It's quiet, it's well made, it's got a lentil-matic hybrid engine, all very clever. All things you'd expect from a car company that has won many awards over the years. Neatest panel gap consistency in the executive saloon sector award. And the coveted That's a Nice Paint Finish award, 3 years running.
I think you're getting the picture. All Lexuses are beautifully made and impeccably engineered to achieve unmatched levels of dullness.
So when they announced recently we've made a sports car, oh how we laughed in the office.
Right up until the moment we saw it.
Yeah, egg on face, foot in mouth. Humble pie for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
It's called the LFA. And despite being a Lexus, it doesn't have many Lexus-y features.
There's no Eat Your Greens hybrid hiding under the bonnet. There's no golf clubs hiding in the boot. It's even got a spoiler. It's the real deal.
And if you're still not convinced that this thing is a supercar, then let me give you some nerdalicious numbers.
552 horsepower.
Same as a Gallardo. 0 to 60, 3.7 seconds.
Same as a Ferrari 599.
Top speed, 202 miles an hour. That's faster than an Aston Martin DBS. Okay, I think what I need to do here is just find out how that works. Stop. Sport. Ooh, yeah. That I like. Go. Whoa, that's explosive. It's immediate. There's no waiting for a second, and it's just stop. Wow, going. 150. 170. Yeah, that's really quite a fast car.
Now, this being a Lexus, you might expect it to be not just a supercar, but a supercar full of immense attention to detail.
You'd be right. 4.8-litre V10, and yet somehow the Lexus boffins have managed to make it only the size of a V8 and as light as a V6. But that's not the most amazing thing about it. No, the most amazing thing is the way it revs.
The engine is so lively, they've had to fit this computer game-style virtual rev counter. Because a normal analog rev counter can't keep pace with how quickly this thing gains and loses revs. And then there's the beautifully nerdy flappy paddle gear change.
The paddle to change up is lighter to use than the paddle to change down, just so you know you're going in the right direction.
Amazing stuff from a company that's never built a supercar before. Which is why they took their sweet time over this one. 9 years, in fact. At first, the body was made of aluminium, but then after years of work, it was deemed too heavy. so it was scrapped and they began all over again using carbon fibre. Lightness was an obsession. The steering wheel, for example, is also made of carbon fibre. The pedals are milled from a single piece of aluminium. And even the complex Lexus stereo has been on the Atkins.
Geekiness is everywhere here. These mirrors are specially shaped so they funnel air into these air intakes. The designers were so obsessed with good handling that even the water bottle for the windscreen washers is buried somewhere deep down in there next to the petrol tank to try and keep as much of the weight as low as possible and inside the wheelbase, just like an F1 car. And don't be fooled by this gap. That's not shoddy build quality, that's a specially designed intake.
So it's definitely a Lexus, and it definitely looks like a supercar. The question is, does it feel like one?
It's lively! The brakes are ferocious after caning it around this track. No sign of getting tired. There is an initial lead from the front end. It's quite soft feeling. The thing just wallows in, then you can give it a bootful with the rear end. In. Oh no. Oh God. Get it wrong and it takes absolutely no prisoners. It just spits you out.
Get it right, though, and you'll be laughing.
Oh, yes! There you go.
So there we are. What a turn-up from the librarian of the car world. Which brings me to the obvious question. Would one buy one?
That all depends how much it costs. £50,000, ooh yeah. £100,000, yeah. £150,000, well, it's expensive, but it'll be exclusive.
As it happens, though, the LFA doesn't cost £150,000.
No. The LFA costs £340,000.
That's £130,000 more than a Ferrari 599. For a car that's no faster than a 599.
And you know what? Even at that price, Lexus won't make any money on each one they sell.
What this car is, then, is an engineer's wet dream. It's a brilliant creation, and praise the Lord that it exists. But price-wise, it's on a different planet. And there's another slight issue.
At the end of the day, and here it is, the actual end of the day. Yep, I'm in the Lexus. Oh, God. You'll never get away from that. Will the owner of the £340,000 Lexus move it? You heard me. Sorry. It just doesn't. It's a Lexus. It just is.
I'm baffled. I'm more baffled than I've ever been. Hammond, does this car, does it do 1,158 miles an hour?
Yes.
Really?
No.
So it isn't 6 times faster than the Nissan GTR?
No.
But it costs 6 times more?
Yeah, it does.
Why?
Well, it's made of exotic materials.
It needs to be. It needs to be made out of myrrh. Is this windscreen wiper made out of saffron?
No, but there's a lot of carbon fibre.
Hammond, my bog seat at home is made out of carbon fibre. It didn't cost 340,000 quid. Honestly, I just don't understand this car. But hopefully, our tame racing driver will be able to make sense of it. Some say that he has to take his shoes off with an Allen key. And that his New Year's resolution is to eat fewer mice. All we know is he's called the Stig. And he's off. It's wet out there yet again. Thank you, Copenhagen. So let's see how the confusing and expensive Lexus copes in these conditions. Here he comes. Look at that through the first corner, rocking up a bit there, and a little bit of oversteer on the way out. Stig still enjoying a Cockney knees up, which is strange because his knees are on his face. Okay, there's Chicago, a little bit more oversteer. How's it going to cope in a moist hammerhead? Will that clever weight distribution help? Running a bit wide, a bit slithery. You can hear he's having to use the throttle very gingerly as he gets out of there. Right, now he can really mash his paw down. God, this thing sounds like an old F1 car. Let's hope it's not using know-how from the Toyota team or it'll be rubbish. 2 corners left, spearing into the second to last one. Just a flash of corrective lock. Gambong, that's clean, and across the line. Boring lap. Never spun, never crashed.
Well, we shall see.
You have the time?
I do. It did it in 1:22.8, which puts it there. But critically, I've got to write on there that it's wet, very wet.
That's the fastest wet lap we've ever had.
By a long way, because the next one's Lambo Gallardo.
The Gallardo there. So look at that. 3 seconds a lap faster for 3 times the price.
Yes, it's a bargain.